to Respect, San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest weekly podcast. I'm your host, Caoile, and this is my incredible co-host. Couldn't think of a better one, Brandy Beasley.
Right on. I'm happy to be here. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome. It is getting urgently close to the date of everything being back to almost feeling normal again at the Palace of Fine Arts.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to feel the bass in my chest and just the energy from the audience. We have not had that for 2 years. 2 years. I need that back.
Mm-hmm. What do we need more than anything when things are bad? Inspiration and feelings of hope. And what gives us that? Art.
All the time. And coming together and seeing it together and having that collective experience and just walking out during intermission or after the show, and just all those people were there with you and just saw this amazing show with you together. And so there's just this connection. Art is wonderful. Oh my gosh.
Yes. It's magical gift given to us living. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the people who aren't living, but I bet you it's a gift to them too. I'll let you know.
Right. Guys can come back and let us know.
I will let y'all know.
Yeah. But y'all got to get your tickets. Tickets are on sale. November 11th through 13th it's almost here. It's basically here. So you gotta go sfhiphopdancefest.com, get your tickets.
We have 2 programs. Program A, which is going to be Friday night and Sunday matinee. Program B, which is Saturday night and Sunday at 5 p.m. Those shows are completely different. We also have a closing night party, which is completely sponsored by our beautiful co-host right now, Brandy Beasley.
That's right. Come get a cocktail.
Yes. All of the drinks that you'll be sipping will be provided by this beautiful woman that you see here in this podcast. And we appreciate you so much because, after the week and more of bringing all of this together, it's so nice to provide the artists and the people who love the festival this little party. We have a DJ, we have a live performance, and just to say thank you and goodbye to a lot of them before they get on their flights. Thank you. Yeah. And we're going to have some master classes too.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about those.
We have 2 now.
Okay.
2 master classes. We have Saturday the 12th at noon at ODC Freedom. We'll be doing a master class at ODC Crump storytelling. Yeah, I know you want to be there. And then on Tuesday the 15th, which is after the festival, at 7:30 at City Dance, the B-boy Wheelie from Paris is going to be teaching a all styles, all levels masterclass, meaning some B-boy, but not necessarily all B-boy. And for anyone who wants to just come in and up their skills, Parisian style, very distinct from what we've learned, right? Yes, I learned that. We've learned a lot.
Yep, that those B-boys in France can tell when the B-boy is from Paris. Wow, that is just from watching.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about who we're talking to today. So I'd like to get right to it if it's okay.
It's okay with me. Oh, yeah. I'm excited to talk. Okay, so we have JC with us, who is the co-founder of Straight Jacket and the executive and artistic director of Crazy 8, which is Straight Jacket's youth team. So Crazy 8 is based in San Mateo, and they value hard work and integrity. You have to. You cannot get up on the Dance Fest stage without working hard and having integrity. Okay, let me just say that. So they began as an experimental junior team under the studio CY Dance Works, and now they are making strides in establishing their own name in the dance community. Crazy 8 supports Straight Jacket's mission of preserving the hip hop dance culture in the Bay Area. And they train in fundamental styles, including whacking, locking, popping, b-boying, and housing. And they just bring it when they hit that stage. They don't play. So let's welcome JC.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hi, Micaiah. Hi, Brandy.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. We're really happy to have you. I'm excited to get to know you a little better. May I start with the beginning? I'd like to know your dance beginnings. Where did you train?
So I actually moved here in the United States when I was 17, 18 from the Philippines. Before that, I was just kind of just dancing on my own. But when I first got here, the dance community itself isn't as big as it is now. I think even the dance culture is not as, I wouldn't say, it was a little hard to find where to, learn from, where to find classes. It was very niche. You kind of have to know somebody and they bring you to events and then your whole world opens up. So that happens to me after a couple of years of moving here. I started, I didn't even know what locking was, what popping was, what whacking was, but I just started meeting people and was just learning a lot of the culture here in the Bay Area and then slowly here in the United States. And it opened up my mind. And from at that point on, I was just dancing a lot, and a lot of big team dance teams had started popping up, especially in colleges. And it was garages in my time. It's a lot of people just dancing in garage. It's like, hey, which garage are we going to be in tonight? But yeah, and then eventually I found big dance teams, which does more choreography. And for me as a dancer growing up here, I was just finding a way to really just dance. I didn't know the niche of this is like what freestyle was. This is what choreography was. This is what competition was. So eventually, and it's just a trail of meeting people, and eventually you find people that kind of want to establish their own. And that's where Straight Jacket was born. I found a good group of people in San Mateo, and especially Chantel York, which is the owner of our dance studio, CY Dance Works.
Mm-hmm. So now do you have a favorite style?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course. Right now, I'm training more in housing. Housing is my thing right now. I go to Oakland on Fridays to learn from Rama. I'm sure we're all aware of who he is because he's amazing. And then I also attend days like this in Oakland just to kind of like session and meet more house dancers. And just yesterday, I was at Elements, and I think I saw Jordy there and a couple of folks that are into housing as well. This is a great community. I think housing as a style, much like most of the style, housing as a style is very, it's so friendly. I just love it. It's just such a good vibe. So, yeah.
I agree. I feel like the people that I've spoken to about house when they first started teaching me about it, this is what they said to me. And I'll never forget this a long time ago. They said, we're just the group of people that never felt like we fit into some of the other scenes. And I don't know if it still feels that way, but I do know that it does feel very welcoming and supportive. And I've always loved house. It just looks like you're just like not caring, and you're just dancing, but you're like, whoa, there's that real fine line between physicality and surrender. It's so magical.
Yeah. And the music for me is just tremendous because it's the music sounds very grounded. The drum beats, and the Afro beats. It just sounds so. There's just something so human about it. Like and then when you dance with another human with it, this is that connection. That's just I can't even explain it to my students. Whenever we do house, I'm just like, let's just play music, let's just house, and then you'll find out what I'm talking about. So
wow, I love what you said, Micaiah. How you described it, like that fine line that it has. And then I remember we had Rama. Did we have Rama on? And I think we had Jordy at 1.2 on the podcast, maybe? Jardy, sorry. Getting Jardy mixed up with my homegirl, Jordan, what's up? Are you watching this, Jordan? Are you watching this, Jardy? What's up? Anyway, anyways, when you really start getting into house, like you watch it, right? You're watching people dance to house, and it seems like it is just this thing that's just coming through them. But then when you start actually, like you're saying, you're doing more sessions, you're coming into Oakland to do that, and you and anyone who is learning it, you start to see the fundamentals of it, which I think is similar to any kind of dance style, right? When you start learning it, which segues me into my question. Tell me about the different dance styles of Crazy 8.
We started off with choreography, and I found that it's hard to determine what choreography is. I just know at a period of time, choreography, if I could describe it best in my own words, it's a series of pictures and lines to kind of emphasize the music, and it's more for competitions that when we did it in the past. And then slowly I realized, we should kind of go back to, or we realized we should go back to the root of what hip hop is, the hip hop culture is. And I think this is 2000, I think a couple of years after we started, we decided to overhaul everybody. Like we shouldn't just be doing moves to hip hop music and then perform. Let's overhaul. Let's go back to the culture. Let's relearn. Let's try to bring some folks in. Let's try to go out there and learn. And because of that, I started off my training in the past with locking and whacking. So we started bringing in a bit more of locking and whacking into the team, and it was a very slow pace kind of training because starting back from scratch from where we were was a lot of work. So locking and whacking was the first thing that we kind of hopped on. I'm not sure why. I just know I personally was enjoying it a lot, and I think locking and whacking was available to myself. I didn't know how to explore to other styles, and I wasn't aware of other styles as well. And then slowly. Because I myself, I love every aspect of hip hop dancing or street style and club style dancing. So I just try to learn as much as I can, and whatever I learn, I just bring it back to the team. So I go out there and learn, bring it back to the team, and then eventually we also like to open our doors to other folks, and eventually we would get folks that are more educated in certain styles as well. So they would come in and then teach the team. So mainly Before we focused more on locking and whacking, and then we kind of start to implement a little bit of popping as well. And then when we got folks that are more educated in breaking, we would also utilize that strength. So we kind of see and listen to what our members can bring and try to enhance that, so that we can be so that we're, as a team, we're not just this straight, like this is our style thing. I'd like us to be more moldable. I want us to be more like, okay, so this year, this is going to be something that we're going to learn, and then we're going to try to enhance that. And then this year, we're going to try to do that more and try to do this more. And so recently, since I've gotten into house a lot, we've been doing a lot of house. Since I've gotten into a lot of our members are also training in whacking. We've gotten into whacking a lot. So in the set that we're performing, you'll see remnants of housing, breaking, and whacking from Crazy 8, because those are the styles that most of the directors are training in. And then a few like the choreography as well, and a few of the old styles that we previously trained in, like popping and a little bit of those picturesque kind of dancing in choreography. So
what a gift you're doing. That's a gift. And this is something that is really investing into the future of this culture by giving it to these young people and allowing yourself to be open and vulnerable to learning something that it's not your necessarily specialty. I'm so for that. I've had a lot of different types of dance in my life, and I think it's been the best gift ever. The best gift ever. And so the fact that you're doing that with the kids, it really makes a difference. And I've witnessed your growth, at least from when I first have met Straight Jacket and Crazy 8, which was the first time that you applied. I don't remember what year it was. And I've seen you through the years and really have been impressed by your progression, the way that you all continually evolve and grow.
Thank you. And personally, as a director, I've learned this. I don't know if it's like a lifestyle style, but most folks that I've like come across in my life, they in dance at least, because it's very competitive, or the choreography competition is highly competitive. So it's a lot of folks that I've kind of meet. They and I've learned this. It's saying that a lot of folks try to play the game to win, but what sets other folks differently is that a lot of folks play the game to keep playing. Like I like to think I'm in that situation where like, okay, I did all the competitive choreography. Like I want to keep playing. Like what's next? And I also want to teach the youth that, because I don't want them to think that dance is just this like one thing that you compete, you win, and then goodbye. And then this narrative of like, well, I'm too old to dance, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, man, like it's an ongoing thing. It's evolving. It's a lot of people to meet. It's a lot of people to support within this community. And it's a beautiful thing. And yeah.
No, that's really important because I do see that's the main goal with the adolescents and pre-professionals is let's get this trophy. And, there's no disrespect. I've never had any disrespect towards the competition or battles. It is part of the culture in some sense. There comes to a point in your life where you have to do what moves you. And I just know that there's also a group of people in this world who intentionally put pieces together, who have thought out full, beginning, middles, and ends, and stories or social commentary. And it's fascinating to me. And it's also gives that sense of relevancy in the art world that it needs so desperately. So I appreciate you helping with that. And with that, I want so much for you to talk about this piece. Heaven is Here, but I read the description to Brandy, and Brandy is the misty-eyed one. That's we just it's
I already got misty-eyed from what he said before, so we're already like on that. The train has left the station and now more speed, but yes.
Should I read that before you talk about it, or would you like to just get into it? Because I can't find it.
I can just talk about it, and I'm also open to just you reading it as well.
Oh, yeah. Baby, do you have it nearby, Brandy?
I don't, but I have that, like you said, it's Heaven is Here, and it's a journey of feeling and a journey of healing. That's what I have. Let me see. No, I do have it. I'm going to keep going.
Hey,
so, a journey of feeling, a journey of healing. In 2021, more than a third of high school students reported poor mental health during the COVID-19 pandemic. Girl, I'm going to start crying already. Heaven is Here is a social commentary on youth experiences with mental health challenges and the journey towards healing. As a collective, they want to support and uplift others on their journey. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, this piece is actually loaded because during the pandemic, it's a lot of the youth was not able to fully explore their world, and a lot of them goes to high school and middle school. As a youth, you kind of have this path of like, I'm looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to this one. And with the uncertainty on when things are going to open up again so that they can continue just living like a human being. As a coach, I kind of there were so many Zoom classes or Zoom sessions is what we call it. Sometimes I would even just call a Zoom session where we just sit there and just talk. So, and then as things open up, we decided the first competition that we went to was Hip Hop International in LA, and it was this. It's almost this like big competition that a lot of my team members are always afraid to go to because it seems so intimidating. So we did that the first time, and we did better than what we expected. So it really pumped up the youth. And going back to Hip Hop International after the previous one that we did, every competition kind of has this how you should be doing your set. And it's not to say that it's wrong or anything. It's just that, even HHI has a certain rules, like it should have this, it should have this, which I think is incredible. But I thought to myself, okay, this time I have 7, 8 folks that are going to graduate and they're going to go to college and they're going to leave this youth team. So I wanted to do something a bit more special, and we wanted to do something a bit more than just creating a set that's just, oh, look at me, I'm so cool. Even the process of making it was something that we put a lot of thought into. So just to kind of, when we watch the piece, I think it'll make a lot more sense. It consists of 3 songs. The first song has a lot of taiko drum beats, a lot of intense beats. And it came from a show, and in the show, that song is playing, and it's a very high intense situation. So it's almost kind of bringing, and when you listen to the music, it almost brings you anxiety. So that's where I wanted to pull that inspiration from. So then I said, okay, so this piece is going to be crowded with like movements. We're going to do all the styles. It's going to look like we don't know what we're doing. Like we're just trying to cram everything together. And I think, as somebody who also has to go through a mental health journey, it's that phase of uncertainty, that first one. And then the second one is when it's called Heaven is Here, but the whole line in the song is Heaven is here if you want it. It's like a source of hope where we're going to just push through and show resolve, show determination. And then this is more of a piece with, and if you listen to it, it's very like spiritual. It's Florence and the Machine, so she's incredible. And then the last piece was, it's called Breathe. So we wanted to emphasize that last piece is the maintenance part of mental health journey, because a lot of the folks that I talk to, sometimes we think that a mental health journey is that, okay, you notice your mental health, you go through healing, and then you live your life, and that's it. It's not a wound that just closes and it's forever gone. It's something that you have to tend to and kind of take care of. That's the third piece that we wanted to emphasize as well. And even creation of the costume was something that we wanted to be mindful of. If you watch the costume outside, it's spray painted with words that we said, okay, what was expected of us? What are some stereotypes of like this main person or this specific person would have from other people? Like, for example, and this activity broke my heart, number one, because my students was writing words. I'm like, what? Someone called you that? No. They're like, oh, what is that? Too loud or too aggressive. And I'm just like, oh, no, like you're like the kindest person I know. And then it's layered inside with an orange shirt. And then inside, we decided to just write what our authentic selves are. So in the process of making the set, we wanted to eventually remove the shirt to kind of show who we are. But then we kind of just wanted to be like, you know what, we actually like that. Our dance is the one breaking through what's written on our costume, and our authenticity inside, the one that's written on our orange shirt, is something that we know. Like, we don't need to tell people like what we are. Like, we just know who we are. So that was the journey throughout making the set. And there was also rehearsals where we decided like, okay, we're not talking today. It's going to be a 3-hour rehearsal. We're going to put like some stuff together without talking. And it makes them feel very anxious. It made them feel uncertain with how the set is going. So but it's like, we're not talking. So we're just kind of like fake signing in a way, because we wanted to get some stuff done. But we wanted to do that to further connect with each other without talking. Because if we want to convey our message out to the people through movement, we want to be able to communicate each other without talking. So those are the main things that we did. And then we had this board that's like, we would write stuff to each other. We have anonymous letter that we would write to each other, and then we will give it to each other. We will read it so that we can anonymously support each other, or things that you want to say to your team members that you didn't have the courage to say because you felt shy, you don't feel so close. And then we also wrote letters to ourselves, probably a month or two ahead of time. Like, we're going to read this before we go to the competition and perform. So those are the things that we wanted to mindfully do to create this piece, so that we're heavily connected to it, so that when we want to convey a message, it's something that we're clear with and we fully understand.
Oh. You are revolutionizing. You are changing the world. I know, girl. You see me over here. My goodness. Yes. Thank you.
Of course.
You're changing lives.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best.
It's something they won't forget at that age. Even as an adult, I've done those things for Soul Force, my adult company, that have been that meaningful. But for someone that age, it can be everything. Life-changing, life-saving, even. I think that, I don't know if it was us talking, Randy, but we were saying that the pandemic affected everyone, but I really feel like the people affected the most were the young and the very, very old. And those people haven't really recovered.
No, they haven't. Yeah. So I think, like you said, Micaiah, we did similar things in Soul Force, but like the impact for someone to have you go through that process as a young person, because who else is asking you those questions and asking you to reflect in that way, right?
Yeah. That's great.
Yes. I want to get into a little bit lighter question and ask about the times you've been in the SF International Hip Hop Dance Fest, JC, and not necessarily with, just you. It could have been with a different company.
We absolutely love it. That's why we apply every year. One thing that we've talked about in the past, and this is just to kind of emphasize how much we appreciate SF Dance Fest, is that we have done network TV gigs, and we felt so much we felt like we were appreciated more and taken care of more by SF Dance Fest. We just feel the love. We feel like, hey, it's somebody who really wants to bring dancing to light and really take care of the people that are in it. We really appreciate it, and I can't say that enough. And like I said, we've been to a lot of gigs. We've been to a lot of competitions. By far, SF Dance is probably like one of my top, because we are fully taken care of and appreciated, and especially meeting folks from around the world. Meeting folks even in our area that we don't get to connect with as much. I think it's really I think it's how artists should be treated, and I really appreciate it. And furthermore, there was one particular San Francisco dance festival that I think it was with Crazy Ape. We were on stage, and I can already feel all my students. I think teens are just so hard on themselves. I can already feel all my students are just like looking at dancers from France, from New York, and they were watching them rehearse. And all my kids, I already feel my youth is just going, ugh, like we suck. But then Micaiah just said, hey man, like, look, y'all are welcome here. You deserve to be here. It was something that you look them in the eye and reassure them that, you know, they're well deserved to be there. And it made an impact on them in that performance and in that weekend. And it was a hell of a weekend for us. And I'm going to keep saying it. We just love SF Dance Fest, and we love being part of it. That's why we apply every year.
Man, now got me a little bit emotional when I hear about these network shows that have, I'm sure, a budget that's nothing parallel, nothing close to what I have. You know, everyone that's alive knows my plight with funding this festival. It is always the biggest challenge, respect and funding. And I do the best I can, but because I'm a dancer and a choreographer and a teacher, that's my top of my list. And I always say, you know, to Brandy, if that ever gets pushed down and I can't give is what I've given before, that's the little word from the universe saying it's time to quit, you know? So, yeah, we appreciate it. But have you ever actually performed yourself at Dance Fest with a Straight Jacket?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I think our first year with Straight Jacket was, I think you mentioned it. I'm pretty sure it's 5 years ago. Oh, Lord. Because the pandemic is such a black hole, it feels like everything was yesterday.
Right.
But yeah, but it was actually oh my God, it was actually such a good experience. And so at that time when we performed at SF Dance Fest, we had just finished a major network gig, and we met the rookies there. And when we went to SF Dance, so when the rookies was there, that was the year. So when we did SF Dance Fest, and the rookies was there, it was like a whole other experience, because it's we were like taken care of left and right. It was incredible. And then the rookies is there, which we had just met, and they're tremendous people. They're amazing dancers, very friendly and very lovable. So it was just like this. It was this mix of, well, we're re-meeting, we're reconnecting with them, because we thought we were never going to see them again because they're in France. We're reconnecting with the dancers that we met, and we're hanging out with them after, because there's that the after party. And then I remember even, this is how great y'all are. I had a puppy, and I have my puppy in the back room, chilling, because he was like 3 months or something. And so I just remember that, because us and the rookies are like, oh my God, puppies. But and the performance was just really great, because we were after the rookies. So as the rookies was performing, we're like, so it was just such a great experience, and such a memorable one, because prior to that, it was like the network gig, and we were very friendly, supportive of each other there, but we fully came out with support and love at SF Dance Fest because of the atmosphere and the environment that we were put in. It almost feels like we were allowed to really express our love for each other. So that's probably like one of the most memorable time of SF Dance Fest for me.
There's no competition involved at SF International Hip Hop Dance Fest, so it takes that whole part of it out. So you look at each other just as other artists, as the competition. So
yeah.
That's beautiful. I remember that year there was a lot of French dancers in town. There was Caoile and the rookies, and I feel like somebody else, I don't remember, but oh man, it was beautiful.
It was. God rest his soul. That was the first time I met Bobson.
Bobson, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's right. They were here too. Paradoxal. Oh, yeah. Bless his heart. Still miss him to this day. Woo. Okay, so we wrap up our podcast now with this silly question box that Brandy and I just made silly questions that we wrote, and then we pull one out and we're going to have you answer it. Okay?
Oh, perfect. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. The question is, tell us about the most funny tech blooper that you've had on stage. Like, did something happen when the music went out or the lights go off or something like that?
Ooh, oh my God. I'm always so strict in tech. I always put my strict coach hat on tech. But if I were really to pick one, oh my God, many techs.
Like when you're performing, did the lights or the music go off or anything like that?
It was definitely, I don't know where this one was, but it was an event where they couldn't find our music. So every time it was like, all right, we found it. Okay, ready. And then we're in position. And then like another set plays. It's like, no, it's not done. So reset. And then another one plays. And then it was, I remember it was so that at that point, a lot of our set was a lot more like aggressive music, like dubstepy. So we were getting ready to get to it. And, we're like, I always tell my dancers, hey, if it's tech rehearsal, think of it as performance. So go full out and then be in the zone. So we're in the zone and a Katy Perry comes out. So it's just, it's, I don't know what it was, but no shade on Katy Perry. Music's cool, but it wasn't the feeling that we were going after. So, yeah.
That's funny. Brandy, do you remember?
Let's see. I'm next to a workshop, so we might have a little bit of sawing while I'm doing this. But I remember, it's so funny because I talked before on a past podcast about getting kicked in the face. And during this it may not have been the same exact performance, but it was the same piece where we were doing Mission in the Mix. It was the piece that had some house components to it. And the music just cut off in the middle of us dancing during the show. So then this was amazing because it was like Soul Force was like this collective mind at that moment. We all just went off stage onto the sides and we waited. And then they started the music again. And we just started up right where we were supposed to start. And I was so amazed at us because I was like, this is what rehearsal prepares you for. Because we just came in and as we started moving, I was like, I hope we're synced with the music. I hope. And I was like, dang, we're synced with the music. And we just kept it moving. Yeah.
I remember when that happened, now that you mention it. There were times, I think, at Mission in the Mix where it get so hot because we always do the show in June that the system would just burn or cut out. I don't know. I was performing many, many, many years ago with one of my best friends who's a dancer in Los Angeles. We did a duet together a long time ago, just for fun. It was called Best Friend. We were dancing to Brandy's Best Friend. It went into some Mary J. Blige, and the music went off also. And we just kept dancing until the music got back on to the same place, which once again does credit to you, just being in the vibe of like knowing the music, having that rehearsal ethic, and hoping for the best. And that's what happened. That's the thing. When it's live performance, anything can happen, lights. And if I thought about it, I would probably think of at least 10 more things, but those are good ones.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
Well, JC, it's been such a pleasure having you. I want to get to know you more, which I'm sure I will on the weekend. 11th, 12th, and 13th, we got to find at least a minute to just reconnect because as long as we've been in the same world, we just haven't connected enough, like been in the same places. Sometimes I teach at some of the places and I see people more, but I don't get to see you that much.
Yeah, I look forward to it. And I look forward to a better year after Dance Fest. I think as things are opening up. So I'm pretty sure we'll see each other more often now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope so. So once again, everyone, come and check out the 24th annual San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest. It's at the Palace of Fine Arts Theater, November 11th, 12th, and 13th. And we are back live after being virtual for 2 years. We are trying to build back financially after the pandemic depleted our funds completely. So it's crucial that everyone who loves the Dance Fest puts their foot in it and keeps us alive so we can continue this legacy and go on to our 25th year. To check out all of this, go to sfhiphopdancefest.com. I want to thank JC and I want to thank Brandy and thank you all for listening. And until next time, much love and much respect. Bye.